To the dollhouse. I am the doll, and today I am contemplating why so many professional black women get fat. I have my theories, and the research is there to prove it. This is exactly how you avoid getting fat. I'm going to go through the reasons why. There are three reasons why professional black women get fat, and then how to avoid it, especially if you're young, just about to graduate college. Um, you can avoid these three things. So the first thing is lifestyle creep. Lifestyle creep happens when women start to make more money, people start to make more money, they start to change things about the way they live that become necessities, and now they have to have this expense. Lifestyle creep. What is it and how it works? It's when your standard of living rises alongside your discretionary income, and soon enough, former luxuries become new necessities. It happens little by little without you really realizing it. It sneaks up, so called creeps up on you. And it happens quick. It happens when you start working at a place and you gotta go to lunch nearby, so you start spending $15 a day, $16 a day on lunch. If you do that 20 days a month, that's 350 bucks. Let's say that you got your new job and you want to reward yourself. Now you're working now. You want to spruce yourself up, so you start getting your nails done every 2 weeks. Your toes and hands, it's gonna, let's say $100 every 2 weeks. That's $200 right there. That's $550, which will creep your lifestyle up by $6,600 every year. Just doing those two things alone, it will increase your expenses that much by just doing those two things alone. So if you're wondering why you're getting raises and you can't tell why it doesn't feel like you're making more money, those things happen. And with lifestyle creep, the most common thing that happens is the eating out. Eating out, once you have a job, it's fashionable, it's convenient, but yeah, it creeps up on your back. And so lifestyle creep not only happens to your budget, it can affect your budget, it can also affect your back. So lifestyle creep, changing eating habits by eating more of the things that you used to be denied when you didn't have any money, like going to crumble cookie once or twice a week, going down to nothing but cakes every now and then, having a couple more drinks each week with the girls, one or two drinks at dinner, at brunch. Brunch is a big thing with black professional women. One of the main requirements of brunch, it seems like, is that there are alcoholic beverages. You don't see like a health brunch where there's no alcohol, but maybe like juices and smoothies and yoga. That would be nice and cute, but most people aren't doing that. Most people are going to the bottomless mimosa brunch. And those alcoholic lifestyle creep practices creep up on your back. So that's reason number one. Just eating out more. Professional women tend to do it. And then some employers buy you lunch every day. I had an employer like that. They would cater every lunch. And then after work, we would have different companies that were there to woo us into suggesting that our clients use their products. They would take us to happy hour and pay for food and drinks. So everything was free all day, except for breakfast, which we had a cafeteria downstairs. So why would I make breakfast at home, or why would I skip breakfast? Why would I grab a granola bar when I could just, when I get to work, go down to the caf and have my favorite omelet made? That's how it happens. Corporate can kill you in that way, like make your waistline fat. Basically, it can snatch your waistline, not in a good way. You won't have a waistline. You'll be shaped like the letter zero, and that happens fast. So lifestyle creep is one reason. The second reason why a lot of times black women will not be in shape. Their hair. A study was done. It says this: I will think of any excuse possible to avoid the gym. This is an article from Allure magazine that was published in Allure. I don't know why I just did that, but it was published in Allure. Anyway, the author starts by saying this: I will think of any excuse possible to avoid the gym. Shahs of Sunset is on. I went 3 weeks ago. I just did my hair. Those are her 3 reasons. But according to a study at Wake Forest University in North Carolina, the last reason doesn't sound so far-fetched to a lot of people. In a survey of over 100 women, 40% of these women admitted to skipping exercise because they didn't want to mess up their hair. They're about 3 times likely to meet the recommended exercise standards than women who don't fear being unkempt. So let's look at this study. The study is, I can't go to the gym. I've done my hair. 40% of Black women admit avoiding exercise to keep their styles intact. So, this is a true fact. And this study was done by an African American woman on 103 African American women. So a lot of them who aren't wearing crochet braids or braids, they don't want to ruin their leave out. They don't want to ruin their blowout. They don't want to ruin their hair. They just don't want to do that. And that's really something that you can get over. Even if you have a blowout, it might be more difficult when you have shorter hair. But if you have a blowout, you can still put your hair up in a ponytail. This was a question asked on Reddit. This was a solution. Don't just do a ponytail. That's true. This is exactly how, when I'm wearing my hair blowed out, I can keep the straight and keep the silk press. I do a bun. You wear it in a high bun so that the weight of the hair is on the top of your head, right? And the hair is away from your neck. The hair is away from your sweating head. And your hair is tight, like being held straight. And you wear your headbands. Wear the headband, a cute scarf or whatever, to absorb the sweat. And wear it until your hair is dry. After you shower, all that. Wear it until your hair is dry. The sweat is dried up. And then when you take it off, your blowout will be maintained. At least that's what's worked for me. It says to find out if women were putting hair above their health, the team surveyed 103 Black women who came to the dermatology clinic at Wake Forest University in October of 2007. And then this is a long time ago, so things may have changed since then. Hopefully they will. But from what I experienced, and it's not true. I went to a Juneteenth cookout yesterday, and it was just fat backs everywhere. Fat backs everywhere. It was too easy as an old lady to be the cutest one there. I mean, I wasn't the cutest one there because there were some young, cute, hot ones there, like 2 or 3. But 92%, the other people that were there were fatbacks. So let's just say that. But I definitely felt confident as an old lady, like floating through the crowd, looking good. And you know what? If you Google, I did this. Just Google Black Women's Organization. Okay? And let's look at the average group. Like we see the auntie arms. We see them here. We see one thin person. That's Mama Joyce, though. That's Mama Joyce. You know, she on TV. She gonna have to. Oh, it's not Mama Joyce. That her wig is Mama Joyce. That's Mama Joyce's wig. My bad. Anyway, but you know, there are 2 here that look somewhat healthy, but you know, the majority of people look like the lady in the middle, as far as just health wise. And you know, you look at the organization here. We got she's healthy. That's good. You know, she looks like she's at a healthy weight. We'll give these women, you know, their props right up in here. But then we've got this going on. We have more of this after college, these are young women. These babies are young. These are young women. But when the 30s hit, baby, the wall comes tumbling down. And I don't give what nobody says. The wall is there's a wall that can hit you with regard to your level of stress, your level of not being able to maintain yourself versus maintain your lifestyle. Like, you don't have the time to put in to do your look good. And you don't also have the money. Like, you cannot do it. That's when the wall hits. So you don't want to ever get to that point. You have to get to the next part, which is restfulness. Because the third reason is cortisol. Stress is a major factor for why Black women are overweight. Now, I'm not surprised, but the author, who is a Black doctor, she's featured here, Angela Bell, she finds a way to pin this on the white man, the stress. I haven't ever experienced any stress due to racism in my life, even if I have been yelled at and called the N-word from a distance. I didn't stress about it. The things that cause stress chronically are the things that are happening in a person's day-to-day life, in their household, with how their bills are being paid, how their children are being managed if they have them. Their relationships are the source of stress. Women really tend to prioritize relationships. And when there's stress around relationships, whether it be family, friends, people that you might be dating or having bad luck with dating, all of that affects the stress, not the white man. But this is what this article says. When it comes to fitness and wellness, the advice is usually simple and the same. Eat less, eat right, work out. However, that generalized one-size-fits-all plan doesn't work for everyone, especially Black women. In our bodies, other factors at work may block our goals. One of the biggest factors is stress. Considering the effects of systemic racism, it's no wonder that Black women live with chronic stress. Considering the effects of systemic racism, it's no wonder that Black women live with chronic stress. Okay, girl. A lot of the systemic stress is not from systemic racism, okay? For Black people, stress is a constant due to race-based trauma and fear. No, I'm not worried about the Klan marching down the street. I'm worried about what's happening in the life that I'm maintaining. A lot of Black women, they are experiencing that lifestyle creep. They might have student loans. They wanted to get that degree. Now they got to pay those loans back. They might have lifestyle creep related to the hair that they don't want to mess up. The hair that they don't want to mess up that's keeping them from going to the gym. So the stress of those bills are causing stress and cortisol, which is causing the fatness, which is causing bad results in relationships, which is causing more stress because she can't get a date because she's overweight, which causes the feeling of rejection and the, social area of life to be lacking. That's stress. That's the cause of stress, not the police. Really. If the police are a source of stress, then it's because you're a criminal. Really. If you're not a criminal, then what are you worried about? Like, what is the problem? Stop with that excuse. Women, if you're young and you don't have children that don't have a dad who's there to take care of them, or a man who's there to pay the household bills, release stress of dating from anybody. Like, if they're not adding to making your life less stressful, cut them off. Find ways to go to sleep. Make sure you're getting all of your sleep and all of your water. Those two things you can manage your way into, and that's free. All right? Get a budget. Have a budget so that it releases some of that financial stress, so that way you can experience less stress there. Get a hairstyle that you can work out in and maybe even take walks in. Just take walks if you don't want to mess your hair up. But do something stress wise that reduces the stress in your body and also reduces your weight in your body, which would help you have better dating and marriage relationships because you look better. And then, have a budget to help yourself avoid lifestyle creep. And understand that it's okay, even more fashionable, to say that you're doing intermittent fasting and skip a meal from time to time. And you don't always have to go to brunch as a way to socialize with friends. Cut that out. Nails are great. There are press-ons that look great these days. I like to go and get my nails done, but if you're going to do that, it needs to be something that helps you professionally for sure. What is the point otherwise? Or maybe you're dating, you want to enhance your looks, you want to stand out. Okay, fine. But just make sure it's in your budget and that the lifestyle creep of that doesn't affect your stress levels. Like, you can afford it. You can pay your rent and bills still. So anyway, y'all, I love you. I'm appreciating that you are re-engaging with this channel because I just took such a long hiatus. And we'll be talking soon.